That was Police Chief David O. Brown speaking after a lone sniper radically charged rampage that killed 5 officers in the deadliest assault in law enforcement history since 9/11. A year later, have we made any progress? We're going to talk and see if we have. Welcome the author of the new memoir called To Rise, former Dallas Police Chief and ABC News contributor David O. Brown. Welcome! One of the reasons that I got so knocked out by you is because you basically said, you know, on both sides, on the people and on the police side, we have to find a better way to communicate. And I didn't understand why all the other folks in law enforcement weren't saying kind of the same thing, that it wasn't, that there's only one way to go for us, and that's together, because we need each other, no?
Yes, we're never stronger when we're divided. We're always, in our country's history, been much stronger when we're able to come together. Just look back at the Civil Rights Movement, look back at World War II, look back at our founding fathers. It's only when we are to convene around compromise and common goals that we are able to achieve togetherness and strengthen our democracy.
Yeah. I have another question for you. Should everybody be a police officer?
There are some folks, and police officers know this better than anyone, that just can't treat people in a respectful way, particularly can't handle pressure moments. So everyone's not suited to be a police officer. And, you know, the sergeant puts you with this guy as a cop, and you don't want to ride with him, or you may be forced to ride with him, and you get to a call and say, you just stay in the car. You just stay here, and I'll go handle things. Because what happens is that when things are calm, they stir things up. And they have you in internal affairs, and they get you in trouble, and they can define all of us. Yes. That small number of people that they can't do the job right would define some of the bravest men and women that you ever want to be around. But for us speaking up and out against them, I see it as really encouraging the people to do the job right by calling out the people that don't.
Love that.
So now it's been a year since Dallas, right? A year.
11 months.
Yeah. And we do have now a president who basically is like law and order is his mantra. So do you think police relations are getting better with the public, or what? I mean, is he helping? Is he hurting? What do you think?
Every time I think it's getting better, another viral video comes out, and then we take 2 steps backwards. In my book, I recount why I went into law enforcement, and this answers your question specifically. I hired on in 1983, and I was a senior in college at University of Texas at Austin. And I quit school that senior year, and because of the crack cocaine epidemic in my neighborhood. I wanted to do something about it. More than protest, more than be frustrated, I put in an application, I became a police officer. And 33 years later, I'm proud of the impact I made in my neighborhood. So when we talk about how has it improved and the frustration of every video kind of discouraging us, I would say put some skin in the game.
It's all local, isn't it?
If you want things to change.
I absolutely loved your book. It was so insightful. It was so touching. And you had a very simple suggestion for how we can bridge the divide here at home that we see so often. You talk a lot about community policing. Yes. You told me backstage that police officers forget that they are public servants. Right. You say invite someone home for dinner. Yes,
we're in the people business as public servants. We're not in the enforcement business, and we get it confused, and it's easy to get it confused. In 6th grade, I was bused. I was bused during desegregation in 1971 in Dallas, and it was a horrible time. I was 11 years old, and another 11-year-old white kid invited me home for dinner. Changed my worldview of race. Now, I felt like Sidney Poitier, and guess who's coming to dinner?
And you're just as handsome as him.
Yeah. But all the whites in the school hadn't spoken to me for weeks. He invites me home for dinner, and it changes everything.
Why was he different from the other kids, do you
His
think?
name is Mike Schillenberg. Shout out, Mike. I'm glad you asked that question. What was different about Mike? Because I asked Mike the same question. I said, Mike, why'd you invite me home? He said, it was the right thing to do, David.
Yeah.
I wanted you to be my friend. It was authentic. It wasn't a policy message. His parents had raised him to treat people like you want to be treated.
Such a good
Isn't that so basic?
Yeah, I love that story.
It's so basic.
And in the book, you write very candidly about the personal tragedies you've suffered, and it's been many. You lost a brother and a former partner to violence just weeks after you became chief. Your only son killed a police officer and a civilian and then was shot himself.
Oh, my God. He's mentally ill.
Yes.
Bipolar.
Yes. How did you find the strength through all of that to not only kind of survive it, but lead a nation through another rough time?
I'm not ashamed to say that I'm a Christian, and I'm not ashamed of the gospel. My faith in God's grace, which is unmerited favor, allowed me to take another breath, to take another step, to lead a city and to console a nation. My faith.
Man, you're the real deal. You're the real deal. You're a real Christian, a real man, a real leader. I'm so pleased you came to us. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to former Chief David O. Brown. His new book called To Rise, A Life in Faithful Service to the Community That Made Me. It's available now, and you know what, y'all? That's right, you know. Y'all again.